All right, welcome back to River Bend Talent, another episode brought to you by Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance and Halpin Music Company. Thanks to them, we get to come in here and jack around. Me and Dennis, who's sitting off in the corner in the shadows, just out next to the Christmas tree, sitting under the Christmas tree like a present, just out of the video shot probably, I don't know. Because we have so many people in the studio, he decided to give up his microphone. I told you guys no more than 3. No, I didn't say anything. We have the band The Intrusion, who has been making quite an intrusion on the local music scene in the past year. I started noticing them on Facebook, and it was a constant barrage. So, well-named gentlemen. I'm going to go through and introduce you one at a time. Mr. Jacob pulling on bass. Hello, Jacob.
Hello.
We've got Roy Voumard on the keys and guitar and vocals.
Yes, sir. Hello.
I saw you play the guitar recently. It was a blast from the past. Yeah. Preston Shepard on drums.
Hello.
What's happening, Preston? Joe Whiteside, the lead guitar and vocals.
How you doing today?
Also known as the Master Sailing. And then we got Ashton Shepard, unrelated to Preston Shepard, on the rhythm guitar. Oddly enough, why isn't this Shepard the Shepard band? Come on, you guys should have the votes. All you need to do is get one of these
Actually, we could be the Shepherd's 5.
The Shepherd's 5. You know, it only took 2 Van Halens to get the name. I'm just saying, you know.
Shepherd's Pie.
Only
Shepherd's Pie.
two almonds?
I don't
Dwayne
know.
and
They were called that because of their urban drummer. So it was Almonds and the Brother, right? I don't know what's going on
I don't
here.
think so.
Okay.
No.
Dwayne Allman and Greg Allman, the brothers. So anyway, we've got the band The Intrusion here. Now, you guys have been together in the current lineup for about a year, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Who before the current lineup, who were the original members?
It was
Yeah,
Preston and I, and then we also we went through 4 bassists in 3 weeks. One never showed up. Bless his heart, he's a great guy. And then we had another guy, and he just wasn't able to do it. And then we had a third guy, and he did 1 gig with us. And well, I guess he didn't like our style. So he left.
I thought he wanted to do Dollar Bowl.
Yeah, that too. He's a great guy, though. And then I called up Jacob a week before a gig and said, hey, you want to learn an hour and a half of music? And he said, sure. After that, he was in the band. So it was...
You just made that sound so nice. I called him up and said, you want to learn an hour and a half of music? And he said, sure, but truth is, you're 4th string, bro. You were the 4th choice for this band. Don't let him sugarcoat this. No.
Well, you know what? I'm really glad I did, because Jacob is the best bassist I've ever met in my lifetime.
That's fair. It was a not terribly long amount of time after you left the other band.
Well, you know.
So let's get down to that. You guys played in another band together. Joe Whiteside and Jacob Pullen, you both were in the band accidentally on Poipus. Jacob's still in that band, unless they kicked you out in the past week.
No.
Okay, so Jacob's
they
just checking. I don't know. Jacob's still in the band accidentally on purpose. You were in the band accidentally on purpose, Joe, and then you were no longer in that band, and weeks later you called Jacob. So no love lost there.
It was a couple of months.
It was about 6 months, I think, right?
No, not
Come
6
on,
months.
just say a couple of months. Let's not argue about that.
You called me in January, and I think your the last show was in June, right?
No, last show was in August. I was in Germany during June and July.
I was lost in Germany.
Joe started jamming around like
September.
Yeah.
So Preston and Joe start jamming around September. 3 bass players later, they call up Jacob. He gets in the band. What about Roy? How'd you talk him in? Did you see him with a guitar and go, we need that?
No.
Part of the image.
That's a more recent I do know the story.
Go ahead.
Basically, at practices, I would just start playing keys and trying to play bass at the same time. Because we realized we kind of needed keys and some stuff. And then
I think
was
he's
like,
Alex Lifeson.
Then I realized,
Geddy Lee. I'm sorry, I called it wrong.
Then I realized,
Geddy
wait,
Lee.
Not only can I not do this, but I'm bad at keys. So then, without actually telling anybody, I was like, "Hey, Roy, you want to be in the band and play keys?"
Well, we were looking. We
were looking
Well, I think I brought up the idea of Roy.
Yeah, you
but
brought him up.
I was in the car with him one night, and I was like, "Hey, Roy, you want to join the band?" And he was like, "Sure." So then I was like, "Hey guys, I got Roy on keys," and thankfully nobody objected.
The issue
And at
being,
that point-
I hadn't had too much key experience. I played a bit for like music theory purposes, like school band kind of thing,
And then you bought a $1,000 guitar.
and then I practiced my butt off for the next 4 or 5 months, and then I bought a guitar.
Which, having a guitar, see, you should have started there. You would have gotten a band immediately. I would have let you in my band just for having it. I don't care if you can play. It looks cool. You know? First time I saw you playing that guitar, it was a blast back to the 80s, and the first thing that went through my mind is, do I have to be afraid of AIDS again? Because suddenly it's like 82, and I remember, I don't know. It's back to the Reagan era. Oh, God, no. All right. So here we got, so now at this point, we've got Preston and Joe with the original members. You get Jacob to join you. He brings Roy one day without even asking. The big question is, where in the world did you guys ever meet Ashton and get him?
He's my brother. And
He's not your
Dude, you're not supposed to tell.
Anyway.
He kept begging me to come in the band. I was like,
Well, we
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
What it was, we really needed a rhythm guitarist.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Ashton lived in the house.
Yeah, he was just
My
around.
brothers, keep in mind.
I was just
He
right
just
there.
lived in the house, and they have the same
But
last name.
but you know we added him. Were you before Thomas
he was
or
before.
Roy?
Yeah.
He was before me.
Okay.
Yeah, I was before you.
He was before.
Oh, that's
with,
right.
With the what's his name?
Ethan.
With
Yeah, I was about to say he
Yeah.
was before Ethan too.
Okay.
He played the first show.
Yeah. So
And then didn't
'Cause
Ethan quit that one?
Yeah, because
Ethan did.
I was in the crowd for that one.
that's right. I remember
Because
that.
I was playing that day too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, so we got Ashton to try to fill out our sound, and then I guess it wasn't good enough. I'm kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. It was awkwardly silent. And then we got Thomas, or Roy. Sorry, I've known him a very long time when he was Thomas.
There you go. So you guys only been together just over a year and already gone through like 20 people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you gone through more people than the Trump administration here. What's going on, man? So there you. So now
guitar player.
to kind of go back, you and Jacob played accidentally on purpose. Now Roy, when I saw you play your guitar, it wasn't with this band because I still haven't seen this band. That was with another band you're in called Ampere.
Mm-hmm.
Now how long you been in that band?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. That was a nice show. I saw you guys play Bushfest this past year. Because I was busy, I was actually working. I didn't get to just sit and enjoy the set, but I did check it out a little bit. What is your mainstay, covers or originals for that band? A little of both.
Similar to this band, bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of both. A lot of bands. Usually, if you want to be an original band and play gigs, you still have to play covers.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is don't even tell anyone you're playing originals. Just slip them in there. Just,
Or don't even tell anybody you're playing covers. Try to
Yeah.
pass them off as your
Well,
own.
that
Can't really pass off.
That can backfire on you. I had a guy in a band with me for about
we wrote
6
that.
months, and we were playing some cover tunes. And when he found out that I didn't write those, he was no longer wanting to be in the band. He's like, "You wrote all the crappy ones?" Yeah. Sorry. So anyway, so Ampere, and now who else? We got Roy and Joe. You guys also played in a band previous to this. Joe, you're a little slut. You get around. You play with everybody, don't you?
Well,
Play with yourself a lot too, don't you? No, I don't know.
It was a few years ago. We started up a band just because we wanted to play. It was me, you, Ben Duke, and
Drew Robertson.
Drew Robertson. And we just played to play. It was a good time. We rehearsed in the Rogue Theater up above Mavis. I love the people that run that place. They're just some of the best people I've met.
The old Milton School, haunted
Yeah.
as could be.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was once diddled by a ghost there. I don't know. I'm just saying. So that was a band called the Jesters. I'm sorry. I will move on. Well, this isn't about me. I was told that. I know it's about me. Anyway, that band was called the Jesters. Never really made it out of the garage or out of Mavis.
Well,
so
we never
much.
really tried to.
Right.
Are you gonna tell your gig story?
We had
There you go. Yeah,
we
let's hear
had
the gig
one
story.
gig.
We had technically 2 gigs.
2.
Let's hear about the first one. Start with the first
Talent
one.
show.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So technically, we played our school's talent show. I guess you can count that.
Yeah,
One
let's hear
song.
about that one.
We did Ed Sheeran's "I See Fire" from. He did that for one of the Hobbit movies.
It's horrible.
It was really bad.
Keep in mind, this was 7th grade, 7th, 8th grade.
Perfect.
It was 8th grade. As middle school talent shows tend to go, it was pretty bad.
But did you win?
You know what? They didn't do prizes.
Yeah,
They
we didn't
told us
know.
they were, and then they ran out of time, and then it was summer vacation. So.
They were like, nobody here deserves a prize.
Like,
Just
no
send
one
them
wins.
away.
All for it.
It's either the juggler or nobody.
And then we had another gig at my dad's 50th birthday party, and it was pretty bad. We played really badly, but it was great. We got through 2.5 songs, and then my grandma fainted. So we didn't have to play anymore.
You guys are like the Beatles. You got women fainting when you play. I mean, yeah, she's an octogenarian.
Well,
but who cares?
she's a 92-year-old woman,
Same
and she'll cut your face off. She is. I love my grandma.
That's hot.
And she'll.
92 years old will cut your face off.
I'm serious. My grandma is a savage in the best ways possible. What is that laugh?
That is the laugh. But for those out in radio land, that is Jacob Pullen that is laughing like a demented Mickey Mouse or so. I don't know what's going on over there. So there you go.
Got to the cough syrup.
Hey, hold it out, bro. Pass around. All right, so you had the band. That was the band called the Jesters, and
Yes,
you
sir.
played your school talent show, and then you played at your dad's 50th birthday for 2.5 songs till Granny hit the deck.
Yeah.
That is more than the first
But
day of the gig.
I tell that story and laugh because she's okay.
Yeah, well, I once played and my grandma fell down and didn't get back up, and it was still funny as skip. No, I'm sorry, Grandma.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, anyway, I luckily I was adopted. No, that's not true either. All right, let's move on. This isn't about me. Let's move on. So, let's hit one more pre-band that was had. Jacob and Roy. It was a band called Yarn. Let's hear about Yarn before we dive
So
full force into what
it
we're doing here.
was the full lineup was me. I was singing. Jake was on bass, obviously. We had Drew Robertson on drums, Nathan Lewis
drummer.
on guitar, and then Jewel Pedrero on keys. He's one of our friends. He's really good at keys. And we had a grand total of 2 or 3 practices. He showed up to half of one.
Yeah. I was there for
Point
half
five.
of one, and then they kept rehearsing on days that I had school.
That's a hint, brother. That's a
Yeah.
that is a hint.
Well, no. Then they ended up bringing another bassist in.
Yeah.
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 See what I mean? It's a hint.
Yeah.
It's a fourth call. Remember, fourth call.
He was there for one practice, and then it just kind of dissolved.
So you had 2, maybe 3 practices with Yarn.
Yeah.
So totally you spent a couple of hours jamming, putting music together,
Yeah, he was
playing
also-
music. How many hours did you spend coming up with the name Yarn?
It's
Probably more time than we were.
No. It's an acronym. It's not spelled Y-A-R-N. It's J-J-A-R-N. It was just our
With an
initials.
umlaut over the A.
Oh yeah, umlaut over the A.
Yarn.
It's just all of our initials because we didn't know what to do for a band name.
Yeah.
Yearn sounds
He also
so
had-
much more sexy than yarn.
Yeah.
I mean, yarn, I think of like a cat or an old lady
Didn't you
knitting
also
or
sit through
something.
Put like a
Karaoke,
Swedish
yeah.
accent on it. I'm in a band called Yarn.
Yeah, and yearn is
That's
real
a
close to
really good
yurt,
Swedish
which is
accent.
Swedish for orgy hut. So I mean, it's really all coming around
you
here.
know.
I don't know if any of that's true. Don't quote me on any of this. So there you go. All of you guys have been playing. You're all young guys, and we were just discussing live. We're pre-recording this show, and last week on the show we had Aaron McCoy and Graham Pagano from the Graham Band, and we were discussing the youngsters, are the 20-somethings that are in the music scene in this area that are tearing it up. you guys got a show coming up on the 19th. We'll talk a little bit more about, but the Red Flag show. That's 3 of those bands. You've got Accidentally on Purpose. You've got Lofty's Comet, which is a unique young band to see. They aren't playing the hits of today. They got a good jazzy feel going on. And then you guys, at the Intrusion, so there's 3 young bands playing at the Red Flag on December 19th. Kudos to all you young guys.
And I don't think any one of us is going to play a single cover.
That is pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome right there. 3 young bands all playing original music. So there you go. So now, when you guys started, of course, it wasn't all original. Most bands, some bands start right off the bat writing, but usually you kind of jam together a little bit, see if there's some chemistry. How long did you spend picking around on cover tunes before you decided it was time to write?
Well, we played
9 months.
Well, I was gonna say
No, not 9 months.
no, it was.
No, at least
It
before we
was
started
about-
like
No,
writing.
because the first time we played any sort of original was at Roper's, because that one guy was like, play an original, and then we had
That was
Where
me.
I'm Not.
We did Where I'm Not.
yeah,
that
and
was
your
it.
guitar was really out of tune.
We're gonna get a fight between these.
Man, I couldn't.
What he said
hear
about your
anything.
mom? It's crazy. He said your mom was out of tune.
Hey, Jamie.
Oh yeah, I forgot I know your mom. Sorry. Tom's gonna kick my butt for this one.
No, he's going after Joe.
Yeah.
Joe said it.
I just want to see somebody throw some haymakers.
So, sorry.
So 9 months, 9 months of playing cover tunes, and when you guys hit the scene, like suddenly Mark Rice, whoever Mark Rice is, your manager, I've been talking to him, but he promotes the heck out of you guys.
He's
It is a constant intrusion into my Facebook timeline.
He's kind of the
It's
best
really
person
funny because
ever.
the name's only gotten more relevant.
Yeah,
It
that's
has.
true.
It
That's
has.
true.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here without Mark right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
I don't know, you guys. Let's get into the name because I heard, like he said, it's more relevant today as what you guys are as a band. I heard originally it was something sexual. I don't know. Is that true?
No.
It's
I
an
sure hope
intrusion.
not.
You wanna tell
I
a
don't
story?
remember
It's actually kind of a neat story.
So my grandpa back in the 60s, he had a band in St. Louis called the Intruders.
Ah, now
So-
that is sexual.
And so I was like, and I was like, we could do something off of that. I was gonna try to we were gonna do I was wanting to do Joey Whiteside and Intruders or something like that, but
Joey
be
W.
kind of like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers or something. But we just found the Intrusion.
Yeah.
To
So your grandpa in the '60s
Yeah.
played in a band called the Intruders over in St. Louis. Any idea what kind of music they were doing or what was up with that?
Like
Well,
It's
garage rock or
Yeah, 60s garage rock.
Nice. Did they actually play out or were they just?
they got a few records out on YouTube and stuff.
There you go.
They actually-
Gonna have to look that
YouTube
up.
wasn't
Oh, yeah.
like,
Me in the '60s. we were on YouTube.
They put it on Apple Music instead.
They had a actually a fairly big, from what I've heard, a fairly big local hit called "I'll Go On," and we're actually re-recording that and putting it on our upcoming E EP.
That is smart. If you can get copyrights to Grandpa's songs, take them all. Make them your own if you have to. I mean, if he's singing about how he's fond of men, you change it to women. I'm sorry, I don't know your Grandpa. I'm just guessing. These poor guys, they come in here, they don't know me, but Dennis is over there going, these poor saps.
I do.
Well, Jacob does. You're the only one who didn't warn the rest of them.
Oh, it was more fun that way.
Yeah. So, all right. So 9 months. You guys get together, and for 9 months. Oh, we didn't get to the name. No, we did. The Intruder. Sorry. There we go. My brain's ping pong everywhere. It's getting late, and I'm drunk. No, that's not true. I'm only half drunk. All right. So the 9 months. You guys get together. You come up with the name, the Intruders, and 9 months of picking around and Intrusion. The Intruders is your grandpa. And like I say, I started bringing up Mark Rice. You guys hit the scene playing even during the pandemic. You guys were staying, when a lot of bands were finding it hard to find gigs. I know tons of sound companies completely went out of business, venues out of business. You guys stayed pretty busy at the Rustic Retreat and several other venues. How did you guys, as a brand new band, manage to get so many gigs? Were you just picking up all the ones people were dropping out of?
I mean, more or less for a while. Well, we weren't charging a whole lot because we hadn't been together.
Yeah.
Cutting your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very low amounts, but we were gaining experience and exposure, whatever the heck that means.
That means you need to get in out of the shelter.
Well, I
or into a shelter. I said,
I remember, like, back in, like, I think it was either April or May, Preston was talking, he was like, hey, you know how Mark's been coming to practices and stuff? Because Mark had been, like, sitting in on practices, helping with, like, the PA, mixing and everything, because we were in his bedroom, and it was loud. And I had,
Preston's bedroom, not Mark's.
I'm like, you practice in Mark's bedroom? All right, Mark just got creepy, too.
No, so it was like, we were in Preston's bedroom. I was basically just like anywhere in the corner of the room trying not to get tinnitus every single week.
Your amp faced me. You want to talk about trying not
I
to
was
get
using
loud.
I was using a
Yeah.
25-watt bass amp.
that room's so
We
small.
barely fit everyone.
You don't have to tell me how loud he is.
But-
I've worked with him.
But like I remember he texted me and was like, "Hey guys, you think we should bring on Mark as a manager?" And I was like, What good's a manager gonna do us, you know?
I love the little Mickey Mouse voice. Oh God, Walt Disney did horrible things to me. I can't wash off this kind of dirty.
And then I thought about it for like 5 seconds, and I think we all agreed, it's like, yeah, we probably could use a manager. And then like within a few weeks, he was like, hey guys, I already got you a gig. You're making $300.
Nice. I want Mark as my manager.
Within a week in the pandemic, I don't know how he did it, but he just like worked a miracle, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, I remember.
We got a couple gigs out of the initial, because the Ropers gig.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think the next one was the VFW, right?
VFW,
Yeah,
and then
VFW.
Rustic.
Yeah,
and
I remember
once we
that.
hit Rustic Retreat
We
at the
were
Gold Bar,
Oh yeah.
they loved us, and
Yeah, we kept
we
coming
loved the
back.
people
I think
there.
we've played there about 10 or 11 times by
Yeah.
now.
Oh, upwards of
And
15.
I remember
No,
Preston
no.
initially, whenever we were talking about this, he was like, hey guys, once we hit Grafton, we have a good chance of spreading around quite a bit. And as soon as we hit Grafton, we got rebooked for several
Yeah.
other gigs.
In
So
Grafton.
is that-
We had a
In
big
Grafton.
turnout on our first gig, too.
Well, we had a big turnout on the first gig, but like a month later, like,
Oh, yeah.
at like the peak, at like about the peak of the actual like, actually people going out, because it started getting cold and then people started showing up less, you know, because it was outdoors. But like about the peak, we ended up getting just a massive crowd of people because we went later than the other two places in the area.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
by the time like the end of the night, we had both of their crowds.
Yeah.
Right.
We were drawing them in.
We
I
just
guess.
had a ton of people, and it didn't help that we were also really stupid loud.
Yeah,
The
that's
people
true.
show up, they
They heard it. They heard it.
We got a comment at Hog Pit where we started setting up, and then we played our first set. A guy walked up to us afterwards, like, whenever I saw you guys setting up, I thought you were setting up for your parents. And then you guys played, and I'm like, oh, it's them.
So the Rustic Retreat, I have not made. I've seen it advertised. Whereabouts is the Rustic Retreat?
Right across from Oyster Bar.
Right across from the Grafton Oyster
So
Bar. There you
it's
go.
the patio on the Gold Bar. It's serviced by Rustic Retreat.
No, the Gold Bar. La-ti-da, Joe. No. So you guys, like I say, you guys stayed really busy, and for a young, brand new band, I was pretty impressed seeing your name week after week, getting gigs, and especially knowing Jacob's playing with you, and he's like, "Hey guys, I got a Mickey Mouse voice. Can I sing?"
Well,
I play bass and do do.
We're very fortunate considering the circumstances. None of us have to pay bills. None of us have to support ourselves. We're very fortunate that we're young, and it's kind of a shame that
That
you
it's
know.
going to end? Yeah, it is.
Well, that
It's a shame
ends.
to all of us that ends. I mean, it's
Well-
kind of a shame my parents won't pay for me forever.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm on the one hand I'm happy that we are the age that we are, and that because of that we were able to go out and do these gigs. But on the other hand, I know that there's a lot of other bands around here, and they weren't able to support themselves, at least through music, and there's a lot of people really struggling right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we did kind of swoop in and get the gigs that were dropped.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing
But,
wrong.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
that's-
wrong with that. If one band drops out, because I'm a believer in freedom of choice, and
I love that album.
It is a band's choice to say I don't feel safe. I'm going to stay home. And it is your choice to say, I'm going to pick up that gig. So, I mean, kudos to you guys again for getting out there. And I know we were just talking about this with Aaron and Stewie, or Graham Pagano last week. There are a lot of people who say, well, why are you promoting people going out? It's not safe. It's also not safe to stay locked up all the time, because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I will take an axe to my family if I have to stay locked up for 3 more months, So the people who are suffering from the cabin fever, people like me who feeling the vibrational live music is sort of what, it's what I want to go out and do. Thanks to you guys for scooping up those gigs and letting the people who want to go out have that choice. People who want to stay home, you got that choice too. Get somebody to put up videos of you for those people, but don't have them do it with a stupid phone. Bring in a real camera.
I'm working on getting a video rig. I've got a semi-nice tripod.
I was gonna say you better get it before.
Or a semi-nice camera.
Didn't they used to call Preston Tripod back in the day? The nickname he had for some reason?
Yeah.
Third leg? I don't know what's going on.
So we do ask that if you come to our gigs during the pandemic, anyway, we ask that you wear a mask. You enjoy the music responsibly.
And please don't.
Alcohol, that's up to you.
All right. What about those plastic face mask shields? Is that acceptable to you? Nah.
Could be.
I don't know.
You look kind of dumb, but
Dude,
they work.
Listen to me.
They work, but
Yeah.
they do look kind of stupid.
We keep.
It helps for deaf people like me because I can read your lips through those
Yeah.
shields. Plus, it's just like I feel like I'm in a lab or something. Like I'm doing something sciencey.
We keep we keep our personal precautions. We don't venture out into the audience. If we do, we wear masks.
Yeah.
Or we just go to our family, the people who we live with, the people we're around all the time.
There you go.
And we stay separate from everybody because I'm not trying to. I had COVID like a month ago, and it was awful. And it was
You were
horrible.
supposed to tell me that when we met. You're supposed to, if you're under 18, you're supposed to say that. And if you wait a minute, what are we talking about again? I'm sorry. I'm way lost.
I think you had
on what's
mixed.
happening
I
here.
think you had me mixed up with another person.
So, back to the subject at hand. We're talking to the band Intrusion here, which consists of Jacob Pullen, Roy Voumard, and unrelated to Old Mayor Voumard, he says. Seems like a scandal. Preston Shepard, who's unrelated to Aston Shepard, the guitar player. No, I don't. And Joe Whiteside. And you guys, now 9 months of getting to know each other. We were talking about how good you did during the pandemic playing gigs, but 9 months in, you finally pulled the trigger and someone said, let's write songs. Let's talk about that. How does the process go down?
For the first one, our first song that we wrote was called Where I'm Not, and I was listening to a lot of Midwest emo, because why not? And I played something that kind of sounded like it, and we jammed over it. It's just 2 chords during the verse, and then I made up words on the spot, wrote them down, and then shoot, I didn't change those words for another month or so, but so that's how the first one came around. The second one was a little more structured. Preston does a lot of lyric writing, and I do a lot of music writing, and so we're the main songwriters. And what we do is we get the music, we get the words, just rhythm and the lyrics,
Melody.
and then we leave it up to everybody else for their own parts.
Usually, what happens is Joe will text our group chat and say, "I wrote
wrote
a
Yeah.
song." He goes,
Guys,
"Hey,
I got bad news. I wrote another song.
Bad news. I wrote another song." And then he'll say ... and then say be like, "It's this genre.
Yeah.
It's called this.
It's called this." And then we'll wait a couple days, and then maybe we'll get like a 4-minute demo of it in a voice.
In a voice memo.
Yeah.
But
And then another one.
And then
Yeah, and then another
one, and he'd be like, "Wait,
This
listen to
one's
the second
better."
one. This one's better." And he goes, "Actually, no, I like the first one."
it wasn't until recently where we really started like that. Those songs, about like 3 or 4 songs.
Where I'm Not in Television.
Yeah,
And
sort of piddled out through Joe's, just his own personal writing, and then it wasn't until recently that we were like, we should definitely hammer out originals so we can record them.
And that's what you guys are getting ready to do.
Yeah.
What is it? December 27th. You're going into Zen 2 Music up in Jerseyville to start recording the first Intrusion demo or album or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, sir.
So you've got your material pretty much ready. You've got your dates booked. How did you choose this particular studio, Zen 2?
Mark.
Mark knows a guy.
Yeah.
He's I believe he's friends with the guy that runs it, and so there's a connection there. That's
There you
That's
go.
all I got.
That's all you got. So
I
have
felt
you guys-
like there was more, but that's where my brain stopped.
have you gone up and looked at the studio
Not
since
yet.
Mark?
I have not been there.
There you go. This is the first time I've heard of Zen 2 Music, so I was just curious. We talked to a lot of bands that record in quite a few different studios around the area, but this is a new one to me. So there you go. You'll have to come back after the album's done and let us know about the recording process in the studio and all
of
that. And we
course.
can, of course, once the album drops, as the kids say, we can promote it. And kids don't say that anymore, do
I
they?
have to do that
I don't know.
They do.
When I was a kid and we talk about dropping, it meant something totally different. Just dropping a little something on your tongue. I forget what it was. I don't know. Made you feel weird for a while. That was cool.
Tabs, yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Smart, yeah.
Smarties.
Or
There you
breast
go.
strips.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
The
go.
breast strips,
I like all those things. So, you guys, again, let's get around to the show coming up. December 19th, Red Flag Show. There you go. He's got tickets in his hand. How much are the tickets right off the bat?
Tickets are $12.
And how do people get a hold of those tickets other than finding you on the streets knowing you got some in your pocket?
Well, you can message us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or you can message any one of the band members personally and say, hey, I'd like to buy a ticket, or Mark Rice. We have plenty to
knew
go
Mark would
around.
have 'em.
On the website, the Red Flag website.
Yeah, on the
Go
Red
there.
Flag website, you can buy them there.
You can probably just buy them digitally right there.
Yeah.
They'll be waiting at the door for you.
Actually, I
Or
don't
you
But-
can buy them at the door too.
I mean, if you buy them on the website, I don't know who actually.
But the
that
physical,
counts towards.
that's true. The physical ones are cooler though.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. They've
buy
got-
from us.
They got the real deal there.
Please buy
So.
or me as well.
And on that bill, along with you guys, that's accidentally on Poipus, which is Jacob's other band. We've had you guys on the show quite a few times. Now, you guys, I've noticed over the years, when I first saw you, you were an all cover band. You started sprinkling in some originals. So this is going to be an all original show for accidentally on Purpose?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We
Get it together, Sarah.
Well, yeah.
I'm just
well, no. We actually have probably enough written for it. We just have to. We have like a week to learn it all because
So what's the problem?
Because we've been going through a lot of lineup changes recently.
Uh-oh.
Also known as we have swapped drummers twice.
Who's the
Twice?
drummer currently?
Oh, it's Dean. It's Dean. Dean's back.
Back to Dean. Just stick with Dean, man. I know he's hard to get along with. No, I'm just. It's my nephew's son. I shouldn't be talking smack on the poor kid.
Don't be hating on Dean. I love Dean.
I just jammed with Dean about 3 weeks ago. We just did an improv insanity jam that went on for probably 2 hours,
Oh, he's
nonstop. He's a heck of a drummer.
He sure has
yeah.
endurance.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, he just kept going like that little stupid bunny, you know.
Ever seen the guy blast beat? It's crazy.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun because nobody there. It was just a bunch of people just picking up instruments and playing, and Dean did a heck of a job. So happy to hear Dean's back. What other lineup changes you have?
That's the only one.
There you go. So
we still have Brody. We still have Ben. We still have Sarah and everybody. And we.
So
Well,
you
then
went
get
through
it
2 lineup
together.
changes.
Yeah,
Then get it
but
together.
Usually we go through about one a year.
bunch
but-
of divas.
Yeah.
So you got the lineup together. You're going to do your best to get it together for an all original show.
Yeah, we've been just basically like hammering out because we were still working on like the album and stuff that we're writing.
Are you high?
No.
You're stumbling over your. No, I'm just kidding.
That's always me.
I figure his
But, like-
parents are listening. I'm trying to mess with them.
Oh yeah. No, but because we've been working
I am.
on an album for about like a year now, just writing it on and off, and
Nice.
then we've got about at least a quarter of it now. I don't know. We've actually started sitting down and writing it now,
Excellent.
but I think we're going to play at the show. We're probably going to play the opener, the closer, and then a couple of other ones that we just have, because we have the opener and the closer about done.
Building the show. Building the show. So, and then also, in addition to the Intrusion, and accidentally on purpose, it's Lofty's Comet. Which one of you guys in that band? One of you guys got to be in that band. Right?
I mean,
No, those guys are cool though.
Oh man, I saw them. I guess it was maybe Bushfest or Trinity River Fest. One of the ones at VFW out there for the first time. And man,
Yeah.
to be honest, at that. It was Bushfest, and the reason I can remember it now is because you guys were scheduled to play and didn't get to, and out of the whole 2-day festival, I knew almost every band that was there. I had seen almost all of them play before, and Intrusion and Lofty's Comet were the two I was really excited about, because I hadn't seen you guys play, and I hadn't seen Lofty's Comet. However, they took me off balance. I wasn't quite ready for just an all-out...
Fusion.
Yeah,
Fusion.
it was, and
Actually, St.
there.
Louis
I know a few decent horn players around the area, and I know some really good ones, and I know a few that it's a lot of time it's about the tone, right? And those guys, they could make the brass ring, with a very soothing tone. Something about the ring of brass. Not cymbals. Come on, don't act, don't smile like I do that. No, I'm talking about horns. I absolutely love it. It makes me smile, and those cats did it. So that's a heck of a lineup. That is happening December 19th at the Red Flag, and again, Lofty's Comet, Accidentally on Purpose, and this band, The Intrusion. Get tickets by going to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can look up the Intrusion Band. I Googled them today under that. It comes up really quick like. Or if you don't want to do that, you can always get on the Red Flag website. However,
I think
this sounds like one of those situations where each band sort of gets credit for the tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all three of us.
Aside from the Intrusion, we're cooler.
Well, I mean, I have to get rid of more.
Oh, now Lofty's Comet is like, did you hear what those guys said? They said they were cooler, man. Like, who's cooler than us? No, I don't know. So there you
I
go.
can't think of anyone.
They have.
They're
For real, like, I cannot think of anybody.
Yeah, so then that leaves me with one last question before we wrap this whole thing up. Who wants to hold Little Pigpen tonight? No, I'm kidding. That's not the question. I'm sorry. The album that we're discussing. You're going in December 27th to start it. I understand that it is not something you're going to already know when it comes out because you don't know how long it's going to take.
Sure.
However, have you been doing your homework on once it's done, how you're going to put it out, who you're going to put it out under?
Yes,
Because
sir.
that's a big process too. You start to get your artwork together, your liner notes. Because otherwise, you're going to spend 6 months after it's recorded putting all this stuff together.
Yeah.
Just warning you. You already working on all the back stuff?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, you better be. No, I'm just kidding. No, so you get it recorded and mastered. It's putting it together. Any date that you're even looking at getting it out? Any time frame? February,
Okay.
March, April.
So-
By March.
Well, March by the latest, probably.
yeah,
Just because.
in March.
You know, I'm just going to do it for you. March 13th. That's the release date.
You know what? Let's do it. March
You know
15th.
Every time I've asked you guys about
our
a
goal.
date or a time frame, you guys all argue about it for 10 minutes. I'm just going to start making them all.
recording-
It's the easy thing to do.
Yeah, I think we're scheduled to be recording up until about New Year's Eve, right?
January
believe-
2nd.
Oh, January 2nd?
Last day.
And the
Okay,
last
yeah.
song you record before you walk out is going to be U2's New Year's Day. As you walk out, right?
Actually-
You know what? Interesting you say that.
Oh, I can read minds, dude. How do you think that I knew that they were lovers? Not.
Brothers, actually.
Just intimate friends, whatever. Nah. Yeah. So you're thinking about that. You've already planned that.
We've got
Next year,
we're
I think we're
doing
looking-
we're doing a little thing for New Year's, just a personal thing, and we made it a goal to learn New Year's Day by
We have yet to
YouTube.
learn New Year's
And
Day.
so no matter what we're playing, where we are, once it hits midnight, we're gonna stop and we're gonna play it.
There you go.
Even if we're in the middle of a song. We could be playing Freebird and we'd play New Year's.
We could be like in our own cars. We'll drive to Preston.
I'm coming over, get the set ready.
All right, I'm going to give you another hint here. At 5 minutes till midnight, you stop playing whatever you're playing and you play Tom Waits' New Year's Eve, and then right at midnight it'll be over, and you go straight into New Year's Day.
That's a good idea.
See, I'm here to help, guys. You don't need Mark. I'm way better than Mark. You got a great voice for a bass player. Like most bass players, are like, hello, how you doing? I played the bass. He's like, hey guys, Mickey Mouse talks a little lower than me. So Mickey Mouse is 10 cents lower than my voice. All right, so there you go. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of Jacob. He's my second favorite Poland in the accidentally on purpose band.
He wasn't even paying attention to hear you.
I know. But you know what? Sarah's listening out there, and she knows. That's all that counts. All right, so hey, thanks to the band The Intrusion, we got Jacob Pullen, Jacob Pullen on bass, Roy Vumard on keys, guitar, and vocals, Preston Shepard on the drums and vocals, Joe Whiteside on lead guitar and vocals, and Ashton Shepard, totally unrelated to Preston Shepard, on rhythm guitar. You do any vocals?
Nope.
You need to learn, dude. You're not gonna hold your weight in this band if you don't do some vocals.
I'll write a song over one chord.
There you go. They are playing again at the Red Flag December 19th, along with Accidentally on Purpose and Lofty's Comet. Check that out. Again, the ticket's $7.
$12.
$12, sorry. You should give a break, $7. I already said it. It's too late. You can't take it now.
Show's at 7:30 though.
That's where I was confused now.
Doors open at 7.
Doors open at 7. Tickets are $12. Go ahead. Let him say it. What's he going to say? Don't say booger. You can't say booger on the air.
Baba Booey.
Gary Belafonte, I'll kill you if I ever meet you.
Fafa Fooey.
Hey, it's a family show. Keep it clean. All right, so again, you want to check these guys out at Red Flag on December 19th. Hit them up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. It is the Intrusion Band. Thanks so much to all you guys for coming down. Thanks to my partner in crime, the Christmas tree. And next to the Christmas tree is Dennis, who is set very quietly, just looking at me like, you are so bad at this. I started to say something else. You are not good at this. Also, thanks to our sponsors, Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance and the Halpin Music Company. Everybody get out and check out the Intrusion Band. And until we talk next week, get out and support local music and art. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
Goodbye.
Baba Booey.